And I'm back. Oh, if y'all watched that video the day that I dropped with Yo Westwood, that was an amazing interview. If you didn't see it, go back. If you did see it, hit the comments and let us know what you thought about it. You know what I'm saying? Tonight is special. I got my brother in here. Somebody who I look at as a brother. You know, someone I look to as a special person in my life. Someone who does things that just makes me smile every day. Every day I get an alert on my phone of something else that he's doing, and it's just dope. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people in Phoenix that you hear people talk about, whether it's a promoter, a rapper, singer, whatever, people who do whatever. But there's always one name that I don't hear, and he's one of the dopest people here. Probably the hardest working man here. He's probably promoted more shows and put more people on the stage and gave more people opportunities than a lot of people here. You know what I'm saying? So when you speak of this man, you gotta speak of him as exalting, you know, admiration, admire, all of them type of words that people like to use when you're speaking of a man that walks in character. You know, started from the bottom, had nothing, built it all up, got a whole bunch, lost it all, built it back up, lost it all, built it up again, lost it all. Somebody who I like to look at for probably my next shirt I'm gonna drop. He failed his way to success. That's what I like to think my life has been. It's been one failure after the next failure after the next failure till I finally landed on success. Don't give up on your dreams is what this man really stands for. Believe in yourself. Go hard. Push, push, push. What more can I say? I tell y'all all the time in the beginning, I could talk 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes just about these people that I keep inviting in to be on my show because these friends of mine are the Avengers. You remember in like episode 1 or 2, I didn't know who they was. I was like, man, what movie is that? Who is these people that I'm trying to talk about? But I had to rewatch the movie because these dudes is amazing, and these women too. Because this is a whole movement. This isn't just one person. We're going to get into it. But please help me welcome to this FREEZ TV algorithm that we got popping over here in the Southwest. My man, Mr. D. Grayhouse.
God be the glory, brother.
Man, thank you, King. Thank you for coming in, man.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you take control. That's what you do.
Oh, yeah.
But I do want to say with that opening is I got here in 2005. Was sitting on top of the world and finished off my last degree. I had 3 of them, and the world came crashing down. And but I literally put to myself that I wasn't going to work for the white man. I was going to figure this out.
Yeah.
Because after going through almost 15 years of service, dealing with still a form of racism, and then of course the black brainwash and the deceptive side of Christianity. I said I was going to fight through. And when you speak about losing it and gaining it and losing it and gaining it, that's facts. But through all of that, you know, it led me here. Here is where I got my first pair of expensive gym shoes again. And I didn't even buy them. They were given to me. And then as I walked in here and he had these fresh Adidas here, you know, it reminded me, you know, of our, it reminded me of that comeback. And all through that, you know, I've always told you that I'm not honorable enough to do a video. I'm not respected enough to be amongst the greats. But then I always look back. Who haven't I helped?
Yeah.
Who haven't I put on? And it doesn't matter if it was Pest, Doobies, Super, Bear, Koopa, FREEZ. I realized that sometimes we just gotta be the vessel. And sometimes only the great is gonna mention you and not the workers. I'm humbled today to do what I consider a first official, interview. And I appreciate you having us out, because now, even though that I still feel that we haven't done enough, I can honestly say for every client that we worked with this year, we put $1.3 million in each of these venues. And for me to be able to do that only comes through the strength of not giving up, people not giving up on me, and me not giving up on myself. So I appreciate what TMH has done for DG. And even when you're not around, you're around. I keep your logo on every flyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means a lot. And trust me, I'm a Chicago great, Emmy Awards and all, but Arizona's my home, and I love it too. So I appreciate it, brother.
Oh yeah. No, we love you, bro. You like, a lot of people give me credit for stuff you do. You know what I mean? And I have to tell them, hey, hold on. Yeah, I might have played a little role, or yeah, you might have saw my logo or something, but nah, my bro did that. You know what I mean? And it's dope, man. It's humbling just to the relationship that we have. You know what I mean? The vulnerableness. You've always been worthy to me. You've always been a harder worker, a more valuable asset. You've always been an inspiration, a motivation for so many people who just couldn't dream. And you just jump right into the fat of the interview. So let's, I usually start these interviews like, let's go from the beginning. So where did all of this start and how did it, but I wanna build off of what you were speaking on, and just being able to have them pivot moments and them people in your life that's valuable. But to add to it, where did this hunger and desire come from? Like, do you think it's just centered around being in the service? Do you think it was reared in you from parenting? Do you think it was just a struggle that you done went through as your own journey through life? But where do you think you find this desire inside to just be great in everything that you do?
That's a good question. We go through a lot in the household, and I'm talking about from, my pops, freaking on my sister, my mama going crazy, almost losing a home, having to lie for the guy that was freaking my sister to keep my mama straight, rejection from the church itself. I've been shot 4 times in my life. Was in a wheelchair for 9 months, not even sure if I was gonna walk again. And it just comes to a point of, damn, who's gonna kill me? There's a reason why I'm still here. And
I just had a thought. Every morning I listen to Les Brown. Every morning I listen to Les Brown. He get me charged up. And this morning, it's crazy that we even on this conversation. This morning I hit a random video, and it started out with Les Brown, but then it went into TD Jakes. And TD Jakes said, have you ever seen somebody get all of the blessings in life in front of you, and you look at that person and you be like, they haven't prayed as much as I've prayed. They haven't worked as hard as I've worked. They haven't committed like I've committed. Why have I got shot 4 times? Why am I in this wheelchair? Why did my dad do this to my sister? Why did my mom go through this? Like, it's like you sitting there and you watching all of this success and you just like, boom. But you know what? TD Jake said that a lot of that and a lot of these things that we go through is not necessarily the person getting a blessing before us, because God could just be blessing them for the moment. But the preparation that he put people like us through is going to bring us a blessing that's way bigger than the temporary blessings that we saw along our journey. So sometimes we go through some of the most fucked up shit. We see some of the most fucked up shit. We be subjected to some of the most fucked up shit. But sometimes that makes some of the most important people. Shit, Jesus got killed.
Right.
You know, I was watching Noah the other day and he built the ark and his wife turned on him. His daddy did a trick and put a baby in it. Like, his sons both wanted to beef with him. Like, when you're called to do something great, it seems like you almost the main one that go through the fucked up shit. You know what I mean? So I didn't mean to jump in there and just cut you off, but something in my head told me about TD Jake saying that as you were speaking of the things you went through.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so let's get back into it. You saying, so when did you decide to, like, how did you end up leaving the home and going to do your own thing?
Well, you know, like I said, I went to the military only to experience almost.
What was your job in there? What did you do? Was you jumping out of planes?
Well, it was, you know what was so funny?
What was you doing?
What was so funny, when I got to the military, I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I just said, give me a job. Worst thing ever I could have done.
Mm-hmm.
Painting the ship, chipping the ship, you know, all of those things. And that became pretty much, out of my rebirth, that became my first lesson.
And now, coming from what you was coming from, and I don't want to keep drilling on this, but being a young man dealing with a father that you can't trust, and that you damn near gotta, like you said, lie for or cover for. You know, like you're dealing. I had this conversation with my nephew the other day about some things that he's dealing with in therapy. And it's all types of crazy shit coming out in this therapy. You know what I mean? And so that's why I'm asking you this, because it's kids who go through these similar things and we would never know. Like, my nephew's like 34 and I don't even think he remembered this stuff. He's doing some form of therapy and shit is just coming out, you know what I mean? So when you got to the military and you said that was your first lesson,
yes, do
you think that was your pivot point of, like, kind of like seeing manhood and seeing your change and where you wanted to go? There
was no manhood, because I was still facing a principality of people coming down on me and attacking me. And all I said to myself was, through all of this hurt and anger, all I want to do is to help myself so I can help others. That's when I realized being at the bottom was only going to help me to relate, but it wasn't going to offer me the tools that I needed to help others. So I got in them books and I studied, and I got all the way to combat intel, which is very, very high in the service. And
so you went from chipping the boats.
I went to picking up poop
picking up poop and chipping the boat, to designing how we gonna go in and do this. To designing
how we gonna go in, knock it out, communication systems, running IFF, all kind of different things in the service. It was literally. I got to the point I have to wear a uniform anymore. I'm out in Bahrain in $1,500 suits.
Yeah.
Running operations. You know, doing stuff that you might see on TV. I know most of it's fake, but there's a lot of that.
Like, what was that dynamic coming from just being a young black male, like I said again, going through these things in the house, coming from Chicago. How old were you when you got your Emmy?
That was tough. I was probably, man, I could have been maybe 18, 19 years old.
Okay, so this is all around the same time as you getting ready to go into the military and doing all of these things.
Well, I graduated at 15 years old, so I had to wait to go into the military.
You graduated at 15?
I graduated at 15.
Yeah. You was on the fast track, or you just was smarter than everybody that was there?
Well, I don't think it was a fast track. Once I got to high school, I figured school at this point was a joke. They wasn't teaching anything about real life. Once I tapped into real life and I started dealing with real life experience, those books became nothing. It was easy because I can correlate it with life. So that's what caused me to graduate fast. So I literally set out in the delayed entry program, still doing violence and all kind of stuff. And then they let me in, and it was torture during the beginning because, like I said, my mindset was always on being attacked and trying to get people out of situations. So when I got into the military, it's the same thing. I'm being attacked, but I can't leave my team. I can't leave my comrade. You know, and even in doing good, I told my squads, everybody's gonna go back home to their mama, because I'm gonna go back home to my mama. And I literally got demoted for whooping officers' butts, you know. But I promised that everybody was gonna go home and see their mom. So I lost nobody in my company. But even then, I didn't feel whole. But I used that hurt and that will to help others to get to the place where I needed to be. And then I felt a different demon.
So now you in these suits, and you in these Middle Eastern countries, and so you're going through probably like not the Gulf War, but after the Gulf War, it would have probably been like the first Afghanistan. First little invasions and stuff like that.
Yeah, we definitely did. I did a lot of them. I'm older than what people think.
Yeah. Black don't crack.
Right, black don't crack. But I you know, I would literally say, even through shock and awe, it just doesn't matter to me. Like, I was there when the missiles went. I knew what the Milius was going to do. It was pitch black silence. But even then, my new demon was literally at this point loneliness.
Yeah.
Just being lonely.
And that's what I was leading to. So now once you're making these transitions and you're going through your life and you're getting to this point, you say your next demon is loneliness. How did that set in? How did you realize it? And what was the next step to get you through that?
I realized loneliness was my thing because I felt that, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that felt that way. I felt like I was helping so many people and getting so many people out of so many situations. I had money on top of money. I'm a single guy.
Yeah.
You know, I had the drug money. I wasn't a drug dealer or anything like that. I was literally always the guy to make money. So drug dealers goes, hey, you stay out of this.
Yeah.
We need you. So I had a lot of money, and I was making money in the service. But I realized those people that I was helping, they couldn't do nothing for me. Who could I turn to if something happened to me? Who's going to bury me? See, my mama didn't even know that I went to the military. My mama went 10 years without even knowing where I was at.
Well, how do you do that?
I felt that I've taken care of my mom, which my dad couldn't do. I took care of my family. I paid every single bill that I could. What I did to my family, basically to my sister, was wrong. But I felt that I had to save my family. So I sacrificed my sister. After what she went through with my pops, I sacrificed her to save my entire family.
And when you say sacrifice her, you mean by not speaking up?
I got him out of prison. I had her to help me get him out of prison so my mom wouldn't lose her home or her family or her mental.
Mm-hmm.
So I separated myself from my family. I took care of them, but I separated myself from them. And that was a tough cookie.
That was a guilt that you still carry.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like you went and got the wolf and brought it back into the hen house.
Yeah. I got my sister out of there. You know, my mom found peace. She finally gets rid of the dude.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course, this is my stepdad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my real dad I only known him for like 5-6 months, and he died.
Okay.
So, yeah, man, it was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough. But you just keep, trooping along.
Yeah.
I still feel like that I'm alone in these times, but I have an understanding now that it has to be me.
Is that why you work so much?
Yes.
You know, my wife asked me this morning, why do you run out of here every morning like you just, I said, cause I gotta go to work. Like
Right.
I don't know, like, it ain't that I don't wanna be around nobody or I don't wanna whatever, but I'm so used to being alone and just working.
Yes.
That's just where I feel the most me, providing, like making sure that they can have whatever it is that they trying to get.
You have to, man. You have to, because if we don't do it, you leave it to somebody. There's a chance that you will leave it to somebody weaker than us to do it. Somebody that may have a less calling.
Somebody that may have a demon.
Amen. Somebody that may have a demon.
That's what we speaking on now when you speak of your stepfather. You don't never know who's left. Or
right.
Who's left to pick up the pieces because you're not there.
That's correct. Because I'm not there.
So let's stay on track. So you said feeling alone was a tough spot for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the military, they're big on like squads and camaraderie.
Mm-hmm.
So while you're going through all of that, you still feeling alone?
Yes, because I'm doing the same thing I normally do.
Still protecting
taking people. Yes, protecting people, taking care of people, making sure everything is good. The main thing that the military taught me literally was you can do anything that you want to do. You don't have to go with the norm. So I knew at that point that I would never work for anybody like that again. I didn't get paid the first 6 months of my military service. People don't know that. I actually worked for free for this first 6 months. But I said I never want to work that hard for a man again. So that helped me get the hunger. But reaching out to somebody to find the help that I needed, I couldn't get that from nobody.
They don't offer anything like that in the military?
All cliche, brother.
It's cap.
It's all cliche. They'll give you a chaplain. If you want a Satanist, they'll get you that.
Yeah. Whatever you need.
Whatever you need to do this job, bro, we got you.
Yeah, but shoot the gun.
Yeah, but shoot the gun.
So when you left the military, okay, let's we gonna dead the military and keep moving because your life is so broad and you've done so much. So like leaving the military, what made you say, was your time just up or did you just be like, I'm not finna do this for the rest of my life? You know, you see some guys who did as many years as you did in the military. They be lifers. They be like old men become corporals and be the dudes who, when the president point up there in the rafters, they be, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You didn't desire to be one of those guys, or did you just say, what was it that made you say, I'm done with this shit?
Well, I felt, but there's multiple reasons. My inner reason was the fact that you can't contain me. Everything you put in front of me, I have excelled. I have Navy and Marine achievement medals. I have naval achievement medals. I've been shot. I'm at the highest that I can get at the fastest pace possible. Mm-hmm. Where else can I go with this? I don't want to command a boat. I don't want an aircraft carrier. And who am I really going to help in here? Where the real people that I need to be helping is out there.
Right.
So once I felt that I became bigger than the military, I started to question why I was there. So I wanted to, it's going to sound weird, but in a weird way, I wanted to have another war.
Yeah.
And I felt that war was in part against them.
War. Let me go.
Yes.
Let me fight my war.
Let me fight my war now.
Yeah.
Let me use everything that
I've learned the strategies from y'all.
Yes.
Y'all taught me how to do this.
Correct. So I was coming back. I just flew in, and I hit Providence, Rhode Island Airport, and I was coming down 95, and I committed to myself that I was going to see my mother. It's time. She didn't got the checks. Never even wrote my mom back. I just sent the checks. I said, but I'm gonna go tell her that I love her. I'm gonna go tell her that I'm happy that you're making it. And don't worry about me. You always got me as long as I'm living. But I hope you can outlive me. And she said, that's dumb, son. Don't say that. I said, hey, it's all about you. So come down 95. Here come the law. Pull me over. What's going on, bruh? You gotta go back. What do you mean? I just got here. You gotta go back. What's going on? Escorted me back to Rhode Island. Dropped me off.
You went AWOL?
No.
You left like Frankie Lyman?
No. Literally, I was on leave. I had already just came from. Mm-hmm. I already just came from Iraq. Like literally. I literally had left Bahrain to come back here. Mm-hmm. And without even knowing I get down to Bethesda. Actually, I'm at the BWI airport at this point. Nobody on the plane, literally just me. And I'm like, something is going on. And I drop down. They boat me out to New York. And I'm like, what is going on? And then they told me that the towers got hit.
Yeah.
And I handed out some lunch boxes. And I'm like, y'all really got me here for lunch boxes? I was going to see my mama. They sent me my orders. And they 53 me back out. Right into Mosul. I went from Mosul to Kirk.
Right back to war.
Right back to war. So I said, I'm literally built for war. And I don't want this war.
Yeah.
They offered me 40, 50, 60,000. And I told them, there's no price you can put on this warrior. I'm out of here. So I left. I did. I finished the war that they wanted me to complete. I completed the mission. And I just got out of there. Tell me where I want to go. I said, put me in a place where it's good weather and I don't have to see another Marine or nothing.
Yeah.
And they told me about Surprise, Arizona. Said it was an up and coming town. I moved here. I finished my last little bit on the Air Force base over there. Got in a couple of fights and brought a couple of homes and kind of just bunkered down to figure out what I was going to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And my dumb ass picked entertainment. I got family out here to do real estate and restaurants and all kind of stuff, and I took the black sheep route only because I figured that I'm with food because I like food, but I felt like being a blessing and touching people's souls was better. If I can get you the money that you need or the help that you need, would that make you greater?
Yeah.
And that's why I chose entertainment.
That's dope. That's dope. So now let's get into the entertainment. What's the first thing? How'd you get into that, and take us on that journey?
Well, I didn't know nobody here. Brand spanking new. But I knew as long as I interact with people that I kind of had a gift of. It seemed like I always had a gift of pulling together troops, or rallying troops. So I literally just started throwing parties, and people flocked to them. I don't know why. And doing these parties, there was a lot of people who would, like ask me to perform. And this scene is different than when I grew up on because nobody asked. Like literally when I was coming up, like only the hot was performing. You didn't have to worry about getting paid. Like you got taken care of. So I'm like, I don't know who's hot or who's not. So I say, I don't want to be ignorant here. Let me start talking to some people. And then I ended up linking with a cat named, I think it was DJ Cabby at the time. Done something with, I don't know if it was Alley Castle or it was some club that he did. And then he ended up going to like Copper Stone or Copper State or whatever it was. And at that point, I literally, with no knowledge whatsoever, I did an award show. No knowledge of nothing. I really leaned on that guy, and I began to know a lot of the artists, listen to a lot of the artists, listen to their story, and that came off pretty successful. And but oh my God, it came with a lot of controversy. And I welcomed the controversy because I said that somebody here is gonna kill me or fight me or shoot me. Is this the new war? Because I always split my wars up. There's the war within myself, and that's the war of people trying to take me out. And I feel like I fight those on two fronts. And then obviously the spiritual war, I let them handle that, even though I get involved sometimes because I don't, you know how it is. But that's kind of when you came around. Like, nigga, how you can't mention me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, who the fuck are you? Nobody said your name.
Yeah.
And I think that's when the change came in you. And you said, he's right. Why didn't nobody say my name? Where was the people to help you? And that's kind of when you came along. And I still believe to this day that SWUMA within itself is and was the largest platform for local entertainment when you consider that timing, taking nothing away from Justice, because he did Core America and all of that, and I know some of the details on that from the inside. But think about it, we went from the old Stratus Event Center, Symphony Hall. From Symphony Hall, basically to the Phoenix Convention Center. You got to think about that run.
Yeah.
All the way to the point, you know the story.
Yeah.
We was plastered all downtown in Major League Baseball. The whitest that you could get the same weekend. They were pissed that some local hip hop crap was all downtown disrupting
Yeah, they told us no.
They told us no.
Remember, we had to go in and have a meeting with them.
Yeah.
We had to check the money. We already put the deposit on the venue. We showed up with the rest of the money. They was like, no.
No, they
we didn't know that it was baseball weekend. That's y'all scheduling. That don't have nothing to do with us.
It had nothing to do.
And we showed up and showed out. No incidents, no
nothing. And we won.
Yeah.
And we won. And they was willing to do whatever to make us relinquish, that day.
No, we cool. We got a great relationship. They still send emails and stuff. They want us to come back. You know what I mean? We might have to go back. We might have to just bring it back somewhere prestigious like that. You know what I mean?
But that was another, in a war. I always felt like that's one that the local hip hop scene missed here. You and I handled it, or you handled it. But I just feel like that within itself is a story to tell.
Yeah.
Because this is before even Justice started doing the grandiose, things, and you remember the budgets for those things. It was pretty expensive, and I don't think nobody at that time, you would know, you're a pioneer here, but I just don't know nobody at that time that done it, especially somebody that, I was fresh off the press here.
Yeah.
So for me to be involved in something great,
we just did it straight out the pocket. We just did it.
But do you understand? I'm a rookie.
Yeah.
But I'm working with a legend, a pioneer, and I'm in one of the biggest fights ever, fighting for people that I don't even know, with a nigga that I barely know.
But you fighting with me?
But I'm fighting with you.
Still to this
day. Yeah. And I don't, and that's why I try to say I believe that I'm a silent warrior in Arizona. I don't know if I would ever have that respect, but at the end of the day,
the right people know what's up.
And that's kind of what I have accepted.
Well, no, I don't think it's that you've accepted it. I just think that back to what I was telling you earlier about the T.D. Jakes sermon I listened to. You're getting your successes, but you're getting your successes as God prepare you for your successes. So as He takes something from you, He replaces it with a success. But the ultimate success that you're gonna get, you haven't even seen yet.
I believe that.
Like it's not because you wouldn't even have the desire to keep doing what you're doing. You would already have the contentment of seeing the greatest success already. You know what I mean? You haven't even seen it. And as long as you keep working and as long as you keep putting the work into it, you always have an opportunity to be the greatest thing. And the people here is what gotta catch up. It's like you don't have to get no validation from none of these people. When it's over with, your story is written, bro. You know what I mean? You can't take nothing away from what you've done. You know what I mean? Like the very first award show out here that was like dope on that level like that was called the Beats and Rhymes. AZ Mike Mill and this dude named Kenny P. They did it at the Celebrity Theater. And it was dope. I'm talking about the whole city was there. South side, west side, east side, everybody was there. Like this was the most amazing shit you could have ever seen. After that came Pink and Purple. Then came Swooma. And these events is something that really laid the platform. Shit, we gave Justice an award at the Civic Plaza.
We did.
You know what I mean? Like we laid the foundation for all of the things that these people are doing today. And you're one of the main cornerstone bricks in that foundation. You know what I mean? And the history is the history. You know, like now we writing the future. And what's so dope about it is, let's just say it's 52 weeks in a year. How many nights a week do you do?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So let's say you do 250 nights a year. Who else does that? So when we talk about this award show's giving promoter of the year, they're not valid. Because they're not doing the valid research, and that's what made Swooma so important. A lot of these people be like, bruh, the AZ mixtapes, that shit is cool. the AZ whatever shit they just had, that's cool. All this shit is cool, but the Swoomer was authentic. It really reached back to the past and brought the Thurman Stewarts out, and then it bridged the gap to where you have the youngsters performing, and we did some amazing shit, bro. Even the class we did for the business of music and how we locked it in.
Yeah.
And with the Urban Expo, we brought Scrappy in to just speak to these artists about what they need. This is before all of this on the phone and all of this. You feel what I'm saying though? Like there was no Instagram yet. Like you have to put it in its proper perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, like when I look at you, that's why I see something just great. But let's stay on you. So, club, what makes you focus on club promoting, and now in the club promoting, I want you to take this time to kind of give your team a shout out and kind of speak to how you keep this machine rolling.
Well, I feel like I don't have a team. I feel like I have a group of supporters that I'm helping. I feel like everybody that's working with me or for us need that form of help that I'm always been able to provide.
So you're in the same role again.
I believe in the same role again. I'm not even one thing I heard Justice say is that he hates the word promoter. And I know why he hates it, but I'm literally no longer a promoter. I don't know the last time that I've asked for a club to be rented or these people call me. They tell me they $100,000 in the hole, and I tell them here's a plan to get up out of there, and I need to be a part of it to make that happen.
Yeah.
I get the calls from the venues. I get some money up front, and I just develop a plan. I mean, I have, over the last 2 years, I've literally spent $600 a week. Over the last 2 years, I've spent $600 a week on chicken. Every day that I work, everybody that texts me get an order of 6 wings. And I've done this even in a wing shortage. I literally have an appreciation note from Shamrock for the amount of wings that I done purchased, even when wings are going up. Wings right now at most of my venues is the highest product. You can buy 6 things of wings right now and pay $12. And I'm still giving people free wings. Now, I don't know if that's because of my family tradition in food, but I feel like we're going to continue to give back. And I still give 20% to some charities, mostly right now to the Macy's Children Crisis Center. Because that's where Holly resides at, on that side of town. We haven't stopped. We did over 250 backpacks, last year. It's crazy. I mean, I guess the only thing now is taxes, huh?
Yeah.
Definitely definitely taxes, because the amount. Yeah, man. I don't even want to talk about that. What's next?
So what you got going like now? What's the trajectory now? Where you see DG going in the future? Where we headed? What we doing? Because you done did the Arizona Event Center. You brought them out the hole. You went to break room and turned that into a fucking household name. You got the after hours spot that's going crazy. You had the spot over on 27th
Phoenix nightclub.
Phoenix. Now you brought them out the hole. Like everywhere. Like, do you want to own a club, or do you just like?
I do want to own one. It's just over time my mission has changed. I used to want to own a club for the simple fact of I can do what I need to do, make my money, and stop giving everybody else, the money. But the older I get, the more I kind of see, again, it'll sound weird, but I kind of see a club being a restoration center, a church, a hospital. So I want to have a team together when to do it. I make all of these excuses as far as, you know, credit and, you know, and being black and all this type of stuff. But I know if I want to will it, you know, I can do it. I know I got you on board. There's other people who got money.
Other people, I ain't got no money. Or if you did, I'm broke. I'm a poor rich nigga. Hey, if you are interested in owning a club, how do people who watching this contact you to get with you? What if somebody owns a club now who's watching this, who wants to reach out and be like, hey, I need help with my club, but you can do your thing, or hey, I need whatever. Like, how do they reach out to you?
Yeah, you can definitely call me, 480-570-2333. Yeah, that's kind of the best way with me. I respond right away. I'm definitely open. I just feel whatever we do, we have to give back and we have to help people. I just don't want it to be literally making money. I between myself, well, that's incorrect. Between TMH and myself, I honestly feel, even with me not being sane, I think those are the strongest movements in Arizona right now. I think it's the most dynamic punch that's out there. Not taking anything from anyone. That's just my personal opinion. But I feel like when I go to TMH, this is not a studio. You know, I've slept on these floors. I've cleaned. I've dog poop trash. I don't even eat beans, and I eat beans with your pop. You know, yeah. I feel like this is kind of the hub of hip hop. I feel like it's a restoration center, and I will, you know, I hate to say like emulate it or mimic it, but I would like to have that same spirit in my center, where a person is looking for a job, a person needs Wi-Fi, they need help with homework. Like, I want to be able to provide. I'm always going to have the little dance or whatever. That's kind of what finance us. And that's a release, especially for our youth. People don't understand. The 21 and up is new to me. I've always done this for kids. You know, it's just that at this time, I've actually seen more adults hurting than the children.
Yeah.
And that's what caused me to get into 21 and up more. But I also noticed that that's a whole different attack.
Yeah.
So the challenges that I have now is very, very tough with
now you're dealing with liquor and laws and licenses and ordinances and codes and.
Yeah. Somebody had a jingle here or a phrase here that says no local support. And I still feel that is that.
Shout out Young Wax. Shout out Waxinator. Shout out Wax.
Yeah.
No local support.
No local support. Even at the Arizona Event Center, people don't understand, even though I was surrounded by the two big white guys, you know, I literally had to generate almost $26,000 a week to maintain that place. And I literally did that with none of the promoters here. No doobies, no BMW. What was these other cats? No 88 management. No Corey VIP.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No coupe.
No Cooper. No nothing. How in the world was I able to pull that building off with that type of revenue?
Because you consistently
no
do it, though.
support.
You probably. Everybody else to me that you just named, no diss to nobody, but they just doormen on nights on flyers. You know, they bring their crowd, they hot, they popular, they bring their crowd to the club that night, put on the flyer, split the door with the club owner. Hey, you know, that's all they do. They're just like having like glamorized parties weekly. You know what I mean? What you do is something totally different. You go in and it's like bar rescue.
Mm-hmm.
You go in and you shake the whole place up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it's a totally different vibe. You know what I mean? Like I've sat down with owners everywhere you work.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't only say work, everywhere you've partnered. You know what I mean? I've met the owners. We sit down with the owners. It's a whole different vibe. I'm with you when you ordering. You're telling me, well, hey, we're gonna do a show like this, and we can get it sponsored by these people. We're gonna bring 40s if you do this and this and do that. We're gonna get them to sponsor some Hypnotic or get them to do this or that. Like, you're just a whole different vibe, bro. Like you're a totally different vibe. That's why I've been on you about doing this interview. You know what I mean? This interview isn't for you. Has nothing to do with you. But your story is for them. There's so many people out here who are implants like you, or so many Phoenicians, people who grew up from here, who don't even understand the struggle that is associated with being great in such a racist place like here. And for you to continue to overcome, it's like most of these little dudes, I was saying on my live the other day, I might have been on Yoga Show, I don't know, whatever, but people now, these kids now can be like, I don't want to perform over there, fuck that. But there was a time when there was nowhere to perform. We would die for somebody to call us and tell us to come to the Mason Jar or come over here or come over there. Even when you started really gassing up, you took the whole crowd because you was 18 and up. So when you had the warehouse right here downtown, oh man, that was like the most amazing shit ever. Like, like you just keep continue to reinvent yourself. You know what I mean? Since you got merch, dope merch, you keep the merch. Like, I was telling somebody today, me and D we don't have a clothing line. This isn't a clothing line. They thought that when they see your logo with the bird or my bird on your stuff, or they think that this is a clothing line. No, this is just merch. We just promote what we do. Right. You know what I mean? Now, I've thought about making a clothing line, but I don't have no clothing line. I'm just promoting merch. Like, even like this, I did a collab with Life. This is just a friend of mine. He got dope stuff. He got some material that glow in the dark. And he's always making stuff. I'm like, I got the real hate over fake love. I'm like, let's do a collab. You know what I mean? Because that's Life. You know what I mean? Like, and it was just a cool idea, but it's not a clothing brand. It's just merch. Right. You know what I mean? So, like, moving in the future, and before we get out of here, what can we expect from you? What can we expect for the journey? What can we expect to see in the near future?
That's a tough one. I think right now for me, you know, keeping the alliance with TMH is important because that's just a driven. I want to do Swuma again. I just don't know the right timing. Another reason that keeps me slow on Swuma because I don't want you to pay for it. I want to pay for it. But that could be pride. It's so tainted with all of the award shows right now. Yeah. You know, and I kind of lost faith in Arizona when they you having award shows at salad bars. Yeah. And now you putting award shows at Club Red, which I don't understand it.
But I went to an award show the other day, the AZ Mixtape Awards. And it was a good event. It wasn't nothing like what we do, but for what it was a cool event. It reminded me of just being at like a BET Hip Hop Awards, it was cool. But it also reminded me of the importance of what we was doing. Yes. You know, and then I was watching on Facebook, and you had what they call black media out here now. I hate that. Like, I am not black media. Leave me out of that shit. I'm not black media. That's them niggas over there. I'm not black media. I'm a poor rich nigga. You feel me? But I stand on my own. I'm Freeze TV. I was Freeze TV before all this black media shit. I was Freeze TV before all this clicking up and all of this. We cool and we that. No, nigga. I'm Freeze TV. And I'm gonna always be Freeze TV. When you see Freeze TV on TV, it's gonna be a channel with that same logo on the bottom. It's gonna be Freeze TV, like Spike TV, MTV, BET, all that. I'm a network, so compare me to networks. What up, my nigga Network? Shout out my nigga Network. But I just started clowning. But I saw all of these people at an award show at the Celebrity Theater that looked dope. It looked interesting. People was dressed pretty nice.
Oh, that was a trending. Arizona
trending. That looked decent. That looked cool, whatever. And it just led me back to the point to where like I see the importance of rappers putting on suits. You know, to come to our show, you had to get dressed, man. You couldn't come to our shit whack.
Right.
You got to get dressed, man. Like we was known for that. Like it was a thing, man.
That was a good thing. You didn't really have to demand it based on the setup what we had. You know, these were some very iconic places, you know, in Arizona, and that's kind of what I want to be. You know, that's kind of what I want to represent. You know, somebody has to be the elite of the fleet. It's just kind of like the military, you know. You can say what you want to.
We are the elite of the fleet. Swuma is the elite of the fleet.
And that's what I feel.
You ain't heard none of these other radio stuff, none of these other award shows on the radio. We was on the radio. Big time. Every time we did it. Ain't nobody else on the big Jumbotron with it was the baseball, the baseball World Series, then Swuma. Who else done did that, man? Like, nobody's doing that, man. Like, they ride downtown and look at them Jumbotrons, man. Like, we was on one.
We definitely
on like 3 of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just, man, please. But so in the future, we'll discuss Swuma if however we can bring. I'm interested. I don't know when it'd be a good time, like you said, because it's kind of getting watered down. But I think just on the validity of us doing it and bringing it back and the grandioseness of it in its time, maybe it can inspire some of these rappers who not old but not young, that's kind of like in the middle, who might not have participated in a Swuma but knew of it, and the ones who don't know nothing about it, maybe them in the middle can kind of enlighten those on the bottom, and the OGs, they gonna come. So it's just, you know, I think right now we just gotta find a sweet time, a right time, you know, right location, right time, you know, right layout. I think we can do something sweet.
I know we can, and I definitely look forward to doing it. But you know how we move. Everything is connected to a purpose.
Yeah.
You know, we're not about to click in and the popularity, and I definitely don't need no clout. We want it to be solid.
Shoot, I need some clout right now. This goddamn, these damn videos, my shit is monetized, baby. My shit is monetized. So, you know, y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and share this shit, because this is a dope conversation that we have. And this is shit that needed to be heard, needed to be said. You know, the people out there in this desert, they need to know who you are, bro. You know, you on the Mount Rushmore with the justices and the Cooper trees and all of these people who you would call a promoter or not want to be called a promoter or whatever they want to be called. You know what I mean? You guys provide a good an outlet. You know, a safe outlet, consistent for years with an S. You know what I mean? Like on the interview I just did with Yoke Westwood, Yoke said, man, he was like, man, I remember when you first got this building, man, and we still said, he was like, man, you figuring out a way to keep it together. I said, yeah. I'm just figuring it. I'm just trying to figure out a way, and that's just how it goes, man. We just try to figure out a way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We just trying to figure out a way.
I think we were, I think we on a good track of, bringing a different form of a blessing to our state and our city. I can see people moving around. I can see changes come. But I still feel that there's some barriers to be broken, and I just want to be part of the people that that has the hammer hitting the glass.
Yeah.
In close for me, I want to give thanks to TMH. I want to give thanks to FREEZ. I want to give thanks to Justice. Those are some key people that I see that even with controversy comes greatness. I guess, I'm DG, right? Greatness is a part of my name. I just want to continue to define greatness in this city, greatness in our people, and greatness in ourselves. And that's kind of what I'm gonna, die doing, trying to be the greatest person, that I can be. I tell Holly this every day. I kill myself every day, just because I want to be a greater person.
The next day.
So fuck DG. What's up, DG?
Yeah.
Fuck you, FREEZ.
Man,
what's up, my FREEZ?
my DG. What's up? No, that's real. I love the concept. It fits with the theory of my show. In our show, that's what we stand on. Them principles is making your day valuable.
Yes.
Because after this day, it's over. You know what I mean? And when this day is over, you're gonna get to the. Hold on. I'm finna tell him right now. I'm finna break it down for him right now. And thank you again for coming in.
Okay, thank you,
I really appreciate it. Thank you for everything that you do in the city, the lifestyle that you provide. Thank you for just being there for my family. It means a lot to me to know that my family is safe and know that if they need something over there, that you right there, and not know that ain't nobody hungry, everybody clean, everybody looking good. You know what I mean? It just is dope, man. You mean a lot to me. Personally, you know what I mean? And I'm saying it here on the camera so that it's not no. Sometimes people know I love you, but they don't know I love you like I love you. And sometimes it's good to just tell a person, I love you and thank you, and just, and so people can see that and know that, you know what I mean? So when they see DG, they know I love him. Treat him how you treat me.
Right.
Because I love him. You know what I mean? And sometimes people treat people different because they know who love you. And you know how they say you see a kid, you be like, now that kid is loved. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so when y'all see DG, y'all know that he's loved by me. I love him, so y'all love him like I love him. When you see him shake his hand, y'all might want to ask for his autograph, though, on the real. But this is deep. This was a dope interview today, man. I love when people open up and be vulnerable and just be honest. You know what I'm saying? What we trying to do here is project positivity and shoot it out to the world so we can get people to understand that it's really a movement here. And it's really a movement, a real spirit of love and a real spirit of brotherhood, sisterhood, of taking nothing and making something. It really exists. I think today's interview and this interview today was very important because it touches on not being whoever your circumstances created you to be. And also not bringing these emotions along with you. There's so many people out there in this world that's dealing with something. Somebody all went through something. Somebody all came from somewhere. But one thing y'all gotta remember is when you get planted under the ground, that's just dirt. They plant seeds. So when you living in them dark times, like I told you in one of these other interviews, when you living in them dark times, you just shaking and molding because you're about to break through the dirt. And when you break through the dirt, you're gonna be a beautiful tree, you're gonna be a rose, or something, you might just be weeds. But what people fail to realize is weeds don't need sunlight to grow. Weeds don't need water, weeds don't need no nourishment, weeds don't need nothing. Because when a weed break through the ground, somebody just looking to pull it out. But when a beautiful rose grows, when an orange tree grows in a backyard that's producing good oranges, the neighbors want to come get oranges off your tree. So sometimes when you're going through darkness, don't worry about it. Just try to figure out what type of tree are you going to be. Are you gonna be a weed when you get past this darkness? Or are you gonna be something that's fruitful? My man D Greyhouse is a living example of being fruitful. You know, when I met him, he was up here. Then he was down here. Then he was up here. Then he was down here. Now he's back up here. And his trajectory is up here, up here, up here, up here, up here. Because he's already mastered the get back. And when you master the get back, all you can do is keep going. That's what I do. Some of you niggas is richer than me. But y'all not worth more than me. Because I know my value. What are you worth? Y'all know the routine. Today will soon be two things. Today will soon be tomorrow. And today will soon be yesterday. Whatever you do today is what's going to determine your tomorrow. See, so you don't want to get to tomorrow and be like, damn, I still got shit I should have did yesterday. Because you can't get yesterday back. So make today count, because you might not even wake up tomorrow. Then what you gonna do? Fuck with your boy, man. Thank you again, D Greyhouse. Means a lot to the whole DG family. My man Devastation behind the camera. Thank you, my guy. My boy. That's him. You see it. Fuck with us, man. Like, comment, subscribe. You know how the goofies tell you. Like, comment, subscribe. Share this to all your friends. Get it. Copy it. Paste it. Hit the bell. Pop it. Hit all. You know, all that shit. Join the page, because we monetize now. So share, man. Fuck with us. Thank you for all of the support. Thank you again. Happy Black History Month to everybody out there. Shout out all of these black people that's doing good, man. And the black people that's doing bad. What's up to y'all too? We out of here. Fuck with your boy. Peace.